Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this video we will talk about medicine in Ukraine, what advantages and disadvantages it has, and also I will share my experience of major surgeries. So let's start. The Ukrainian medical system is a topic that really deserves attention. It has its own unique advantages. First of all, talented medical professionals. Ukraine has a rich medical heritage and talented medical professionals. Many Ukrainian doctors and nurses have a high level of knowledge and professionalism. Many of them work outside of Ukraine and help solve medical problems in other countries. Second is reasonable price of medical services. Compared to many developed countries, medical services in Ukraine are usually available at more reasonable prices. This can be especially attractive for foreign patients looking for quality treatment at more affordable prices. Next is medical tourism. Ukraine has established itself as a popular destination for medical tourism. Many foreign patients choose Ukraine to undergo medical procedures that can be significantly more expensive in their own countries. Of course, during a full-scale war that is not very relevant, but in normal times it was quite popular. Next advantage is scientific achievements. Ukraine has highly professional medical scientists who have made significant contributions to world medicine. Some scientific research and medical discoveries have been made by Ukrainian specialists, which helps to improve medical practice not only in Ukraine but also around the world. Next advantage is a wide range of medical services. The Ukrainian healthcare system provides a wide range of services covering almost all areas of medicine, from general practice to high-tech surgical interventions. While there are many advantages, one should also consider some of the challenges or problems faced by the Ukrainian healthcare system, such as lack of funding, infrastructure deficits, and bureaucratic obstacles. Nevertheless, Ukrainian healthcare is evolving and improving and increase attention to this area, and further reforms can help to strengthen and develop it. Actually, in general, there are public and private clinics in Ukraine. Most public clinics are free of charge. You must have a declaration signed with your family doctor at your place of residence. In recent years, you can make an appointment online, but there are nuances. You must first go to your family doctor, and he is often on the other side of the city, and only then can he refer you to a narrow specialist. In private clinics, although it costs money, you can pay an appointment with the doctor you need right away and often for the next few days. My husband and I mostly use private clinics because it's faster and closer. It takes me an hour to go to my family doctor one way, while private clinics are close to home. Another important aspect of the issue is that doctors in private clinics earn much more and have more modern equipment. However, for example, we had vaccination in a public clinic and everything was fine. As for what I do regularly, I go to the dentist once a year for teeth cleaning and a general checkup once a year to a phlebologist. After all, 2 years ago, I had surgery on 2 legs. Actually, I have hereditary varicose veins and I had it to such an extent on one leg that I needed surgery. And if I had surgery on one leg, I decided to have it done on the other leg as well. Because we were planning to prepare for pregnancy, and this problem, like all others during pregnancy, only get worse. About the surgery on 2 legs. Before the operation, I had 2 consultations where everything was explained to me in detail and all my questions were answered. The surgery on both legs was performed by 2 doctors at the same time. It lasted 1.5 hours. I was under local anesthesia It hurt, but it was tolerable. I was sitting on the phone, working, and only sometimes asked to pick it up so that it would not fall out of my hands. In general, there were bandages afterwards, and after a month you take off the bandage, and after 3 months there are small scars. After a year, they were almost invisible. Every 3 months I came for a checkup after the operation. The cost of this operation, which I had 3 years ago, was about $1,500. Actually, these are archived videos from my Instagram, so they have captions. Now, of course, the dollar exchange rate has risen very much because of the war, and the cost of everything, including medical services, has increased dramatically. But it is still affordable, unlike in other countries. Health insurance is also available in Ukraine, but it's not a very common practice. I think no more than 10% of the population has health insurance, and that's the maximum. I had it when I worked for the company I talked about in previous videos on the channel, and there was health insurance on great terms. They covered critical health issues, and you could also do preventive examinations. And the company covered my insurance. Now I have no insurance, as all my family. I also had another serious surgery. I pulled out my wisdom teeth. I know that in some countries such operations can be very expensive. By the way, if you like my videos and want to support me and my channel, I will leave links in the video descriptions where you can do it. Thanks. And we are back to the tooth extraction surgery. I have only 3 of them, none were visible, but one would soon start growing at a strong angle and through the nerve, which was risky. So the dentist advised to remove it. And then again I thought that if I pulled out one wisdom tooth, then all the others could be pulled out. Anyway, I did it under sedation, which is like anesthesia, but you breathe on your own. It's a medication sleep. Some medicine is injected through a vein and you sleep, then it stops and you wake up. The operation lasted several hours. I slept well, and then you are a little bit disorganized, but that day we even went on business. However, someone has to pick you up from the clinic because in such a state you won't even make it to the car for the first few hours. The next day my jaw became very swollen, and on the third and fourth days it almost didn't open. A week later everything was everything was normal, and after 10 days they removed the stitches. It took a couple of minutes, and that was it. Such an operation also cost about $1,500 3 years ago. About pharmacies in Ukraine. Actually, about pharmacies, everything is simple here. There are a lot of them, they are everywhere. There are strong medicines that can only be sold to you with a doctor prescriptions, but most of the usual ones for headache, painkillers, to reduce fever, vitamins and everything else you can buy without any problems. Pharmacies also sell all sorts of products from diapers to shampoo. About ambulance, you can also call for fast help from a private or public hospital, but not in all cases. Private quick care is very expensive. The state is free of charge, but it arrives at the critical acute cases. Very high temperature, death or threat of death, and so on. To call an embassy, you simply dial 103 or 112. Regarding the birth of a child, maternity hospitals are also private and public. The private ones have slightly better conditions, but they are many times more expensive. In general, there are good maternity hospital and public. In fact, it all depends more on a particular doctor. By the way, my cousin gave birth to a girl 1 year ago, and looking at her motherhood here in Kiev, I realized that now in Ukraine I wouldn't want to give birth to a child. Here I am sharing with you a very personal thing. In fact, we all understand what a difficult period of postpartum, and imagine all this during night attacks to run with a 1-year-old child on the stairs to the basement. Scary, and given the hormone scared 100 times more than usual. Childbirth in Ukraine can cost you in $10,000 in a private maternity hospital and free or up to $300 in the state. So that's all. By the way, write in the comments whether this video was interesting for you and ask questions about the topic. Check your subscription and the bell on the channel, and of course see ya in the next video on the channel. Bye!